All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews. We're back with more Santa Clarita Diet Season 3. We're up to Episode 6, which is called The Chicken and the Pear. And again, another really good episode, really funny. This has one of the funniest moments in the entire show, which is the wall, the image we have behind us. I was laughing out loud. And it takes a lot sometimes to get me to actually vocally laugh. But this had it. And so, yeah, full spoilers, we have not seen this. And so, yeah, basically how this ends up getting started is Tommy coming over to the house to say that if he's retiring and everything, but they're going to send somebody else, which leads Joel. And I didn't mention this before, but Tommy, when he first meets Joel, he keeps calling him Joel. Oh, and he still wants his crossbow back, which is great. I'd want that crossbow back too. It's pretty sweet. So this is what sends Joel on the path to become a knight of Serbia. Meanwhile, they've had to discipline Abby by taking away her phone while she's sleeping, because as it probably is one of the only ways of punishing a kid these days is, it's kind of just back to the old ways, right? Like no television privilege as it used to be. Now it's take away the phone. So we're still like taking away technology in some form or another as punishment. But man, I mean, yeah, you take away somebody's phone and you're fucking people up. That's a good way to fuck people up, man. I'm telling you. If I lost the thing that I'm recording on, I'd be screwed. It's upsetting. But the real punishment is to go with Sheila to see Jean, who I forgot to mention last episode. Jean is, I can't remember the actress's name for the life of me, but she was in the classic sitcom Alice. And so it's cool to see this actress still going. I was not aware, she's not on my radar, so I didn't know if she was alive or dead. It's one of those you don't know if they're dead or not until you see them in something, or if they actually announce their death, and I hate saying it like that. But yeah, it's good to see her still alive and kicking and acting in things, and she's doing a really good job as Jean. And immediately you can tell where this is headed, though, that Jean's old and dying and wants to see her grandchild, and this is leading Sheila to, should I turn her? And again, this will be the big arcing thing throughout. I think the rest of the show is, what does Sheila do with her powers now that she's not going to get any worse as far as like pieces of her falling off and that. When and should she make other people? And there's an argument to be made for sure. It's nice, it's sweet. Oh, the old lady, but it's also something to be said of just letting nature take its course, and sometimes shit happens. Abby and her, of course, get along because, in a lot of these situations, you always have the old person connecting with the young person to, both see like we're kind of coming from the same side, whatever. Meanwhile, Eric and Joel are training to be Knights of Serbia, which is one of the funniest things ever for this show. I just love it. Just Joel Hammond. And it was a pretty good throw of the knife, I gotta say, with the back-to-back fighting. And then this kid just shows up and starts dancing. I love it. I love it. They didn't have to do something like that. They could have it was already silly, but then they added something else. I really, really dig this scene. What a great choice of doing a montage with the perfect song, too. Just like an 80s montage song, just fantastic. Meanwhile, also after this, they talk about whether or not Sheila should turn, Jean. I don't know, maybe if it gets to that pitch, though, I can't remember. But after all this, Eric and Joel kind of bond a little bit more, except Joel's feeling uncomfortable, which is weird because, being kind of who he is, you'd think he was into the touchy-feely kind of stuff. But I guess knowing that Eric likes Abby is probably like, he's still got to act like a dad. And then they get to Morgan. Okay, so Morgan's interesting because the guy who plays Ron was on a show called What About Ted? And this is really cool because Malcolm Barrett was also on that show, and now he's in this show. Malcolm Barrett is from Preacher fame. He was on Preacher season 2 and 3 as one of the Hair Star's minions. And Malcolm Barrett's been doing this for a while, and it's really cool to see him in this because him and that other guy were both from What About Ted, and they were like partners in What About Ted. But in this, Morgan has homicidal thoughts for Sheila and Joel. Everybody's making a kill floor in this season. This is great. Everybody's buying a lot of plastic and watching Dexter, apparently. But right when they're trying to convince each other to, Morgan's trying to get them in the kitchen to kill them, Abby comes over and saves the day, and Morgan still attacks, and they find out that he's undead. The knife, that was great. The chicken in the pear, sticking the lemon in his mouth, and then Abby stabbing him in the head with that cool triple-bladed knife. I mean, Abby said it best with that knife when she's like, come on, and then chink with the blades popping out, and she's like, come on, like, that's enough said, right? And so she killed the zombie for him, and they don't want this for her, and blah, blah, blah. But you know that this is where it needs to go. This is where the story's headed. And Ron's out there making zombies, so this is worst case scenario, because at this point, patient 0 is out. He's made 1, so now you can never know for sure, ever, if it's spreading or not. You can never know for sure if you've killed all the zombies at this point now. So they're in uncharted waters, and it's another really good episode. And that's about it. That's all I need to talk about for this. I wish there was more Gary in this. I'm loving Alan Tudyk as Gary the Head. But anyway, that's about it. So anyway, if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. Otherwise, this is Rob at Smirking Good Review saying we are going to have a Walking Dead live stream for the finale tonight, immediately after that runs. Otherwise, we'll have more Hannah, more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., more Santa Clarita Diet coming up. And then sometime early next week, we will be doing Doctor Strange for our Road to Avengers Endgame review. So have a great day, and we will see you in the next video.